back to the Gentleman Talk Show. I'm your host, Jose, and I'm here with a very, very special episode. An episode that I feel has been in the works for a while. It's just that I haven't been able to find the correct words. I'm not going to go into detail telling you the articles I've read or books I've read about it. I'm just going to touch the surfaces of each thing because I just don't want to stretch this, long, right? But before I get into it, please, if you like the show, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below just to help me make the show better. If there's something that you'd like to see, you'd like me to add, or even topics you'd like me to talk about. But one of the questions I would like to ask you for you to answer down in the comment section would be: would you like me to enter into detail with everything? It doesn't matter what topic it is. I can get into detail. I just extend myself way too much because I have so much information that I take down that I just don't want to scare you off or make it too long, make it boring. I just want to make it more exciting for you to hit that like. But with that being said, let me get into the topic today, which I feel is the number one reason that us men decide to do something dumb, like leave our wives, leave our kids, push people away. But it's all going to be from the point of view of a Catholic. And before I forget, I'd like to tell you and give you a warning that I will be changing the name of the show to something more appropriate to the topic, which is Catholicism, men, fatherhood, and family. And that being said, today's topic is mental health and faith. Let me start out by telling you a story. I have a friend, or had a friend, who was a studious person, very studious. He had graduated with a BA in psychology and seemed very happy, extremely happy. But one day we received the news that he took his life. That scarred me for life, and that's something that I've kept in my heart because he was a close friend of mine, and he's no longer here because he never spoke out. He was fighting with his mental health. He was fighting with his demons from the inside, and I'm no one to judge. But I was mad at him for so long because I wish he would have spoken to me, to any other friend, but he didn't, and he did what he did. But it hurts, right? It's something sad, and because of him and other friends who've done the same thing, I'd like to help men fight the good fight and run a good race. St. Paul talks about this race, right? Like I said, I'm not going to get into detail, right? But he says, run this race, which is a race of faith, which is the race that we all are in right now. But it's only through God that we can win. It's only through God that we can have the strength to finish. Because fighting mental health on your own just doesn't work. Our pride as men tells us to fight it alone, that we can, that we don't need anyone, when in reality we need everyone. We need to tell someone, right? But you don't just make it to suicide or anything close to it fast. It takes time. There are steps, and I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but it's things that I've seen. It's things that I've experienced myself. Where you first want to please the others around you. So you push the people you care about, that who care about you, you push them away. And you start bringing in people that don't care about you, that are just there out of convenience. There's something in it for them. And then once that's gone, they leave you. And what's bad about it is that once they leave you, you're left with no one. Because the people that cared about you, you pushed them away. And the people who didn't care about you, they're gone because whatever was in it for them is not there anymore. So they don't need you anymore. You're alone. So then by putting everything onto yourself, wanting pleasure, wanting happiness, quote unquote happiness without God, just fulfilling yourself, you're left alone. And once you're left alone, you try to bring back relationships, but then you feel embarrassed. And then what happens? From that loneliness, you get depressed. And once you're depressed, the alternative happens. And we don't want that. As a Catholic, as a Christian, I'm here to tell you that your happiness lies in dying for the other. In dying for your wife. Dying for your kids. Dying for your parents. Dying for your friends. We're taught as Christians that our vocation, we're called to die for the other. To carry our cross and die for the other. We all have a struggle in life. No one who's listening to this can say that they have no sin, that they don't struggle with something. Everyone struggles with something. Everyone. And that being said, I invite you to die for your wife if you're married. Die for your siblings if you have siblings. Die for your just whole entire family. Die for your friends. Stop feeding your ego and start feeding your soul. But how do you die for the other? And this is where faith comes in to fight mental health. If you're alone, if you feel lonely, if you feel depressed, because the people that care about you, they're still there. But they respect you. They might be reaching out to you, but you push them away because you're so embarrassed because you push them away. God has put them there to pray for you, to still care for you, because that's a real friendship. That's real love. It is us who push them away still. And that being said, faith comes in by you going to church, sitting in front of that blessed sacrament, and talking to God, entering into intimacy with Him. So much so that we're actually created to experience what Saint Teresa of Avila experienced. Her moments of ecstasy, where explicitly, if you've seen the statue, it's as if she's having an orgasm. And that's the point we need to reach with God. That point of intimacy. To love God before everything. Before anyone. And then once we're able to do that, we're able to die for the other. And that's where mental health, the depression, the loneliness, the thoughts that come in, the negative thoughts that come in, they're beaten because we have the number one source fighting with us, fighting for us. And so I invite you today, if you're struggling, don't succumb to that struggle. I've said it many times. You can leave comments on here. Tell someone what you're thinking. And if you want it more private, and I'm here for you, you can go to the Spotify page and leave your number, leave an email. And I'll be there for you. Or anyone. Look for help. Go to your local parish. Go talk to the priest. Go to a confession. Confess your sins. Confess what you have. Start with a clean slate. Don't let the devil get to you. Don't let the demons, the thoughts the world throws at you, conquer you. Beat them. Us Catholics have something that most Protestants don't. We have the breviary. We have the rosary. We have, they have the Bible too. We have the Bible. But we have confession. We have the Blessed Sacrament. We have a lot of weapons that we can at our disposal for us to fight. We have no excuse. It's about believing it. It's about believing that God is there and loves you the way you are. And it's time now to get up. It's time to pray. It's time. Don't wait another second to pray. You can just sit where you're at and make a small prayer. You don't even have to babble words. You don't have to think too hard. Let it come to you. Go to the Blessed Sacrament. My brothers, I tell them many times to go pray in front of the Blessed Sacrament, and their answer is, I don't know how to pray. Well, it's easy. Just go and sit. You do not have to do anything. So I encourage you to pray. And before I forget, before I get to that, so how do you beat mental health? By praying, believing in God, doing what you got to do. I can go deeper into these details. I can go deeper into a lot of these things, but I'd like to hear from you if that's what you want to hear, because I know that people on TikTok, people on YouTube, they go into detail and they extend themselves very much. But if that's what you want to hear, I can get into it, because my focus is you, the man, the person, the father, the brother, a son, even family, your wife. If you're a wife, I'm going to have families on here one day. I'm going to interview my wife one day. So, I encourage you, do not get discouraged. Enter into prayer. Listen to Gregorian chants. They will bring some peace to you. Read spiritual readings. I'm reading a Mother Teresa of Calcutta right now, a book right on her, and it's amazing. Her humility, her number one goal was God, and that should be our goal. So before I end this episode, I'd like to share with you that I am going to change the name of the show, like I've said in the beginning. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to add a different segment to the show, which will be all about sports, but together with Catholicism and faith, where we'll have updates on teams, football, soccer, and baseball and boxing, and updates on that, and also on players, boxers who have a strong belief in God and how He is their everything in that sport. And also how sports and prayer go hand in hand. And so, with that, I end today's episode. I do thank you very much. Once again, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And if it's easier for you to listen to me on Spotify, I'm also there. I'm going to leave the link down below. And I hope you tune in next time. Thank you.